Welcome into Minnesota Vikings Now. I am Tom Downey. Here's what's coming up on today's show. It's franchise tag deadline day, and I guess we'll mention some Garrett Bradbury conversation, although he's not going to get tagged. So replacement option there. Maybe the Eric Kendricks replacement or replacements if they pursue that route. We'll break down the Todd McShay latest NFL mock who has the Vikings taking. Guy I'm a big fan of. We're going to begin, though, with K.J. Osborn's story. My boy producer Patrick had the short up on the channel for you guys yesterday. Background here is that Osborn helped pull a man from a burning car Sunday night before carrying him to safety and really hoping to save the guy's life. Here's what K.J. had to say on the incident. He said, initially when he crashed, I didn't even know he was alive. He was kind of in a daze, but I think he could feel the heat coming to his legs. That's trying to talk to him and get him out. Here's a photo of the car, by the way, which I can see why KJ wasn't sure if he was alive in the first place. I mean, that car is even before the fire destroyed it. You can see the front end being totally wrecked there. So very lucky moment that KJ was around, and of course, all the credit in the world to KJ Osborn going out of his way and doing the right thing. Here's what KJ had to say, or continued, I should say. We've all had those Vikings thrillers, but that's a football game. This is real life, and when it comes to saving a human's life, that's way bigger than anything I've ever experienced. Credit to you, KJ Osborn. Everyone show him some love for me in the comments section, and type in 17 to show him the love for doing the right thing and stepping up in a big way as a person. Let's move now to the football side of things. Todd McShay's latest NFL mock draft is out. Here's who he has the Vikings taking in round one. That is Maryland cornerback Deonte Banks, who I thought had a fantastic combine showing, and Todd McShay agrees. Here's what Todd wrote. Banks was really impressive in Indianapolis and is getting a lot of buzz after running a 4.35 in the 40, leaping 42 inches, and 11.4 broad jump. Those are all top three numbers among cornerbacks, and that is true. And we'll talk more about this. Here's what Todd said too. And while he had just one pick last season, he did break up 10 passes and limit opponents to 4.6 yards per attempt. Banks is an explosive player. Cornerback, unquestionably, is one of the biggest needs for this Minnesota Vikings team. I think it'd be a great pick for me. He's the number 4 cornerback in this class for me. We're going to spend some more time here in depth on Banks, on his fit, why I would love that pick for Minnesota. But we have launched an NFL Draft YouTube channel here at Chat Sports at youtube.com/chatnfl. Tons of NFL draft videos. We posted all of our combine interviews from when I was there this past week. Go subscribe to it. The faster we get to 1,000, the more videos we can do. Help us out. I want to have as many Vikings fans as possible to do even more Vikings draft-themed content over there. youtube.com/chatnfl. Deonte Banks, I think, is a fantastic fit with Brian Flores. I've got his scouting report notes up here for me, just like overall here. I think there might still be a little bit of adjustment and time to grow here, but he's a strong tackler. The size is awesome. You're talking about a 31 3/8 inch arm, so checks off that box. 6 foot, 197, great combo there. 42-inch vert, 11.04 broad in the 4.35 40. You put all that together, factoring in the size, you're about a 99th percentile athlete at corner. The two closest comparisons from an athletic-only standpoint are Byron Jones and Marshawn Lattimore. I'm not saying you're getting that caliber of athletes when it's all said and done, but I think the Byron Jones comp is actually pretty good. He doesn't have great ball skills. You're talking 1 interception this year, 8 pass breakups, 2 and 10 over his career. He's a little grabby, but he didn't allow many catches. You're talking 60 targets, 26 catches were allowed there. A little grabby, 8 flags this year. He kind of rotated at corner, but there's a lot of room to grow still with the ball skills, the athletic ability, the overall shutdown nature of his numbers. All point to me as, hey, this is a really good cornerback prospect. I think he's cornerback number 4 behind your big 3 of Seeps boy Devin Witherspoon, Joey Porter Jr., Christian Gonzalez. I don't know if he's going to be there in round 1. He might be gone. If he's still there for you, though, I think that is an ideal, somewhat realistic draft pick for Minnesota. So do you want to draft Deonte Banks? Type in D for yes, you want him, you want to take him, or you can type in P for pass. Let me know in the comment section. Let's talk some more draft-focused stuff here. The Vikings met with DeMarion Overshown at the NFL Combine in this noteworthy in light of the news of the release of Eric Kendricks, and we assume the upcoming release of Jordan Hicks. The linebacking crew right now overall is very thin, which it's not going to look like this come the end of the draft. They'll sign a veteran. They'll add somebody else there. They'll be able to get some impact going from that standpoint. DeMarion Overshown was a safety at Texas to begin his career, and he's built like he's very long and athletic. That speed, the quickness overall is a big factor in what's done so well for him. There have been some missed tackles on the film. Again, it's the safety linebacker transition stuff. If the Vikings are still craving more of those coverage linebackers, Overshown fits that. Now, I think he's a bit of an overlap with Brian Asamoah, some similar strengths and weaknesses on that front. PFF's got him ranked at a 9. That's about right. I think you're talking kind of that late third round range, early fourth round is roughly where I think Overshown ends up going. So there might be bigger needs for Minnesota, but I do think barring some big investment at linebacker in free agency, I bet they draft somebody at some point this year. I think meeting with Overshown formally, that level of linebacker talent indicates they're looking at drafting a linebacker in this year's class. How do you think the Vikings should address that linebacker position? It's D for the draft, FA for NFL free agency. You can type in B for both if you want. I suppose N for none, but you got to address linebackers somehow there. So let me know how you would take care of that linebacker need for the Vikings. Next up, could the Vikings go sign a cheap James Bradberry replacement? I think that could make some sense. The center market's not very good, and if Garrett Bradbury gets the bag, they'll want to look at a cheaper option. And one name that stands out is Bradley Bozeman. Now, I worry a bit about his scheme fits in particular with the Vikings. He's a bit more of a power player to an extent. Wasn't that great for the Panthers. He is, I think the grades bear this out on PFF, better run blocker than he is pass blocker. Maybe Minnesota wants to upgrade their run blocking with maybe a new back instead of Dalvin Cook this year. I think the contract value is about right, $2.1 million. So I like this. I think his fit is still better in a Ravens-style offense. And I think it was a decent fit in the Panthers-style offense, too. Ran the ball a bunch down the stretch this year. I'm okay with it. I don't love it. What this does is it gives you flexibility. If you had to start Bradley Bozeman for a year, you can survive. If you're sitting there in round 2 and you know why, or round 3, whatever, and John Michael Schmitz is there, or you trade down a bunch in round 1, hey, you can still take John Michael Schmitz or Joe Tippmann or any of those top centers, and just you're paying backup money for a center, so you're fine there. But if the board doesn't fall the right way, at least you have a serviceable option who you could end up surviving with. So do you want to bring back Garrett Bradbury? Sound off in the comments. It's a simple Y for yes or N for no. By the way, while you're down there, please make sure you guys are subscribed to our Vikings YouTube channel. YouTube.com/@Vikings Today. Free Vikings videos all off-season long. The free agency window is about a week away, and things are about to get very fun for Minnesota.